Hey guys, Mom Running Kid here, back again. How's everybody doing on there? Let's get more comic reviews. And no matter what, let's just do it. Let's have some fun. So this pile of books will be dealing with the books that came out still for January. Trying to remember the date. But Marvel first, smashed it. We'll do Marvel first. We're gonna do the indie books next, and then we'll end it with the DC. So let's kick it off, shall we? We're gonna start with Black Panther number 10. Shirai, who is back. You know, T'Challa's sister is making her presence felt. A lot of dissension in the ranks of the nationals of Wakanda and certain things like that. And it, with the help of Manifold, of course, is back as well. T'Challa has a plan to finally put an end to this whole kind of dissension in the ranks of the people of Wakanda. Pretty much. Yep. Alright, let's move on to Daredevil. Sorry about that, Claire. Daredevil number 16. Alright, so yeah, Matt had put out a bounty on his own head and was looking for all the people to come out, and who would come out, probably one of his greatest enemies. And yeah, it is a great fight between Bullseye and Matt, as always. But this time Matt wasn't playing. Matt actually kind of is almost a one-sided fight in a sense. Matt nearly beats the crap out of Bullseye. But the next issue, of course, you know what's going on. Is going to find out why he gave up his identity to return just being, you know, Captain America. Number 10. Yeah, this is just getting crazy. Just some of the stuff that's going on. Jack Flag is dead. They recently just basically pulled the life support, as well as Maria Hill being a bitch that she is. She escapes, and yeah, she was getting fired. No doubt about it. And she gives us secrets to what she wanted to do to Carol. But yeah, and of course we see more of the altered past of how young Steven got to participate in Project Rebirth. But yeah, that was it. And probably one of the other things you were gonna see, Steve was going to kill Jack Flag. He was gonna kill him himself. And once again, it is just so hard to see him bowing to Red Skull, and fuck that. Alright. Civil War II, The Oath. Nick Spencer, Rob Reyes. This is basically the aftermath of Civil War II. And this is Steve talking to Tony, who is still in a coma, and he's just spewing his guts, telling them what he thinks about him and everything like that. It's basically the confession part 2 all over again. Just the roles are switched this time, and that's pretty much the gist of it. Yep. Steve just goes on and tell him that I'm the one that caused everything. Yeah. Doctor Strange number 16. Chris Baccio. Aaron still does a good job with this. Yeah, it's Steven dealing with the return of Dormammu. Yeah, Dormammu's in this, and you know, Steven, he's fighting Dormammu at his weakest. And let's just say, basically, guys, you don't go into battle fighting the ruler of the dark dimension at your weakest. Okay, Inhumans versus this is Extraordinary X-Men. I have read. Don't worry, I will get to those. I have read all that. I have finished Inhuman and X-Men. I'll give my thoughts on that later. But Lemire, basically, this is all centered on Forge. Good story, good storytelling indeed. Forge gets a spotlight, which is surely needed. Forge is a good character. He doesn't get enough credit that he deserves. I mean, his powers are basically really different than other X-Men powers, but this guy, whatever he thinks he can create, and I think that's cool. That's talented. But of course, Forge is cool. You know, guys, come on, you know me. I'm a very big supporter of Native American characters. So, and Forge is Cheyenne. Yeah, Cheyenne, right? Yeah, I believe he's Cheyenne. He's just like Danny Moonstar. I believe he's Cheyenne. Or is he? Oh, gone? No. Or is he Sioux? No, he's a Cheyenne, I believe. But anyway, this was a good story. Into possible future of Forge, everything. Good stuff. Hulk #2. These covers are just beautiful and eerie at the same time. But the tables are spinning, and Jennifer's still trying to get on with her life. But you know, it's like a ticking time bomb she's just ready to explode at any time. And her client, her first client, is an Inhuman woman who she's talking to somebody. We don't know who she's talking to, but someone else is in her apartment. But yeah, the tables are spinning, and we're about to see this new form of Jennifer. Big time. I've been really enjoying this, and I've read the further issues, and I will get to those later. Infamous Iron Man, #4, Bendis Malieve. Pretty much, basically, Doom knows that his mother is alive after she's nearly killing Ben Grimm. Like, she's literally melting the rock off of his body, because she's a powerful sorceress herself. And that's pretty much the gist of it. It's still on this road of, is Doom trying to really be a hero, or is he just playing the world? That's pretty much the gist of this still is. And yes, guys, he will be on, he will be a part of the Avengers real soon. Avengers, Inhumans versus X-Men. This is #3. Without spoiling too much for anybody who hasn't read, but I've finished this series, of course. But yeah, man, it's okay. It's probably the one thing I did like was the Jean and Karnak situation, and Karnak at the end meets somebody I guess you don't want to meet. But other than that, yeah, it is what it is. Alright, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. This is #15. Reader and Montclair and the rest of the gang. This is basically Lunella meeting Riri Williams for the first time, and the two geniuses just kicking it and getting along with each other. Yep. That's pretty much it. Not bad. Spider-Woman #15. So basically, Jessica has been really trying to find out who killed Porcupine. Or is she? Now, I've read the next issues, but without spoiling too much, yeah, Porcupine's not dead. He never died. But he could be dead now because old Hobby has entered the fray, and Roderick Kingsley not fucking around. Not indeed. Star Wars number, what is this? Number 27. I was still telling the story of a past story with Yoda, which has been really good. I've been enjoying it. Who does the artwork in this? Salvador Roca's artwork is great. Like I said, still telling the story. Yoda's on this foreign world, and there's these kids. They're like a war tribe, and they have these rocks, and it seems like the Force doesn't work on it, or it's connected to the Force. It's just really cool, and just you gotta just love Yoda's commentaries. Not fight you, I will not. Things like that. It's just like that is crazy, and it gets even better. Trust me. All right, issue 9 of Thunderbolts. Yeah, this is centered around Mach 5 and Songbird. Marvel, you can't keep Songbird off Thunderbolts, can you? You can't. It's just what it is. She always comes back. It's like just when you think they have her off, and then they drink her back. But basically, she's now a fugitive on the run, once again, and she knows that. And the only place she can turn to is, the Thunderbolts right now. What is also cool, besides that, is Bucky has a new arm. He has a new metal arm that was created by the Fixer. He gave him a better arm, a more upgraded arm. It's more balanced for him, in terms of the fact now he can. It's not so heavy and weighted like his last arm was. And Fixer even goes on because he's going on. Yeah, that Soviet big clunker crap is garbage. And the arm also has upgrades, like it can automatically reload Bucky's guns. Like a clip will come out on the side of the arm. A knife will come out the wrist, up from the upper wrist for close quarters combat. It has like fire flame throwers and all kinds of stuff in there. It's like Bucky said, it's well balanced, so he's not thrown off when he's aiming and things like that. So this was pretty good. And yeah, you just see, Abe and Melissa kind of rekindle their love for each other that they've had. They've had an on and off relationship. Okay. And I just dropped all the mucks. Okay. Ugh. Okay, sorry about that. All right. Let's move on to Thanos, number 3. Jeff Lemire, Mike Deodato. Great artwork. So it's the Imperial Guard versus Thanos. After he's come looking, he was looking. He didn't come there looking for fight, but you stay, you gonna die. That's his word. But the fact of the matter is, the Imperial Guard, we find out in previous issues that Thanos is dying. He's dying. And it takes the entire Imperial Guard to beat him, even when Gladiator comes into the fray. The original Imperial Guard, the first wave couldn't take him down, and then you see at the end, which I'll show it to you. And you see right there, Gladiator comes into the fray, and boop, there, Thanos is down. So as of right now, Thanos will be a prisoner of the Imperial Guard. Okay. Alright. Let's get all the indie books here. Alright. Let's start off with Boom Studios and Dark Horse and Boom. The final issue of Tarzan, Planet of the Apes, on the Planet of the Apes. This was good. David Walker, Tim Seeley did a good job with this. The way it ended like a classic, the classic Planet of the Apes movies. There's a lesson to be learned with this, and it was a good lesson. Nothing too bad. I enjoyed this. I recommend it, especially if you're a Planet of the Apes fan or a Tarzan fan. Good stuff. Moving on to Wonder Woman 77 and the Bionic Woman. This is issue number 2, and the two heroines finally figure out each other's identities. Especially Jamie figured out that Diana Prince is Wonder Woman and everything like that. It was a funny scene where she has to play off being both, and then she runs off to go turn into Wonder Woman. And there was even a part where Jamie even asks, "So how do you do that?" And she did the whole classic spin and things like that. And they go on a mission together. But yeah, this does feel more like just an episode of Wonder Woman guest starring the Bionic Woman, not the other way around. And we move on to the next, which is basically Batman Adventures, Batman TMNT Adventures. So it's Poison Ivy controlling Snakeweed. They're able to deal with Snakeweed and regroup in the Turtles' lair, and they get to meet Master Splinter and have some pizza and things like that. And they find out who else is involved in it. I've read the others, of course, but yeah, who else is involved? Yeah, a guy by the name of Dr. Crane. We have G.I. Joe number 2. Basically, it's the Joes versus the Dreadnoughts as always. The Dreadnoughts are back and they're causing havoc and things like that. As well as there's a pretty good scene kind of a monologue scene where Quick Kick, yeah, right. I'm trying to remember his name. Yeah, Quick Kick goes on the record and explains why he's better than Snake Eyes, why he's the hand-to-hand combat, why he's on the team and not Snake Eyes. And I'm like, you know what, Quick Kick, yeah, shut up. Like, shut up, dude. Like, okay, yeah, you're good. And he's razzing on Snake Eyes because how he a ninja, but he uses guns and everything like that. But I've said it before. I don't care. Yeah, Snake Eyes uses an Uzi at times, but it's still to the point. It's like, Quick Kick, you couldn't lace Snake Eyes' boots or walk in his shoes. So, chill. Move on to Optimus Prime number 3. And this is still dealing with more of the past as well as the present, and Optimus trying to play peacemaker between the Junkticons and a threat that could be wielding from Starscream. TMNT number 66. I have read the others, but this issue right here was very good. It's Raph and Oh, what is her name again? I'm forgetting her name. I am forgetting her name right now. Uh, I am forgetting her name. Not the fox. I'm talking. I'm forgetting her name. The um. What is her name? Angel. There we go. Angel. Yeah. And they go off to find Amaplex. She's still dealing with demons. The demon, well, I should say her demons, as well as running away to not be hurt her friends because she's still being controlled by that sorceress. But she's able to overcome those demons, and she appreciates Angel and Raph coming after her, trying to bring her back. And there's a great scene at the end. It was really good, very touching indeed. Next up, is Hellchild, the Unholy. This is part 3 of 5. Peter Shant does a good job with this as well. And yeah, man, this chick is badass. She's a half god, half vampire. Okay, so that she's a demigod as goddess as well as a damnfire, I guess you would call it, because she's half vampire. And she's still dealing with murder and things like that, and it's getting really crazy. What can I say? Cinderella Serial Killer Princess number 2. This shit is fucked. This shit keeps getting crazier and crazier. Cindy's just fuck. She's crazy. She's being played and she doesn't even know it. Someone is using her to kill off the possible opposition to stop the person that hired her. But she's fucking crazy. What she does to one of who is it again? Who does she? What she does to Shang, the powerful wizard, is fucked. And next, yeah, Brittany, Agent Red is getting involved. So yeah, it's gonna get crazy. Next up, we go to Joe Books, Darkwing Duck. I have read the others, of course, number 7, and this is dealing with Butchroot. And remember the episode of the zombie potatoes? It's the vampire. That's what this deals with. This was fun. I'm just leave it at that. Frostbite number what is this, number 5? Winston Alexander. This has just been great. The father to person who the daughter to her name is Victoria, and I'm trying to remember the damn main character who she has frostbite. Remember, frostbite is like this like condition that people in this world they get, and it basically, you get frostbite and your whole body starts turning into ice. I'm trying to remember. Damn, what the hell is her name? Keaton. There we go, Keaton. She's going off to save Victoria. Keaton killed Victoria's father, and Victoria found out, and she left her out to die. And of course, Frostbite Keaton has a job to do to bring her back, and she's gonna do it no matter what. But there's another opposition in there that wants what Victoria has, and you know, the story goes from there. All right, and we're gonna wrap this up with we're gonna wrap this up with the DC books. All right. We go to Action Comics number 972. Basically, this is the conclusion of the whole situation with Lex Luthor. Long story short, Superman, I wouldn't say trusts this Luthor, but he's come to accept a little bit of acceptance of him. That's basically it. Batgirl number 7. Yeah, Barbara's back in Burnside, and yeah, it's getting. She's just trying to get on, you know, after her travels around the Orient, or you know, the Asia and things like that. But as always, nothing lasts forever in terms of break time, even for for Batgirl. Blue Beetle number 5. Basically, someone comes looking up. You could say basically an intergalactic bounty hunter comes looking for Jaime and the Scarab, and the best way to use that is to know your enemy's weakness. So this said bounty hunter attacks Jaime's mother. Jaime comes out. You know the story from there. Not bad. Batman Detective Comics number 949. This is basically the story of the beginning of Batwoman Begins. Trust me, I've read several of the Batwoman, and I'll get to those soon. But Tilladin, Marjorie Bennett, they tell a good story here. Who is this individual? If you haven't read it, I'm still not going to spoil it for you. But this was good. Deathstroke number 11. Yeah, it's the Creeper. This basically didn't really even focus on Deathstroke. There was a series of murders going on in Chicago, or I think it was a Midwest city, and Jack Ryder's there, so you know what goes on when Jack Ryder's there. Yeah, the Creeper makes an appearance, and he goes around because the person who's killing looks like Deathstroke, and of course he's using Deathstroke's identity, and of course Slade. We do see Slade at the end, who comes because he don't impersonate him, and yeah, pretty much. It was cool to see the Creeper, though. I will say that. Flash number 15. Wrong again, Flash. Now I'm gonna blast you, featuring Mirror Man. Yeah, this whole return of the Rogue stuff is good, and it's gonna keep getting it. Like I said, don't worry, I'll get to those. This plan that the Rogues have come up for Flash is very genius, and just like, wow, they really put a lot of effort into it. Gotta give them credit for that. Future Quest number 9. Got to get on this book, y'all. I'm telling you, it is so cool to see all the Hanna-Barbera characters come together. In this issue alone, I'm gonna spoil one thing for you guys. How about, if you ever seen Frankenstein Jr.? He was big, but now we got a giant size Frankenstein Jr. and Buzz. You can see Buzz up there. They get Tara, and the Herculoids enter the fray against this big monster. One of the coolest things, y'all. Race puts on, Space Ghost gives Race one of his power bands. That was badass. I'm gonna end it with that. This story, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps number 13. This was a really good story. This was really cool. It was like a storytelling with, you know, the same people of Tomare. His, I think it's and it's also a future story, and you know, just the story of one of the Lantern members who happens to be the same race as Tomare. I believe it's his son. You know, and it, you know, just showing what he got planned for the future, which is fine. It's cool. Justice League versus Suicide Squad number 6. Yeah, this was good. Basically, the team deals with Eclipso and Vandal. I was about to say Vandal Savage. I mean, Maxwell Lord, who Eclipso is in the body of Maxwell Lord, and you know he has possessed some of the Justice League members. And little is known, of course. You know, does the team overcome the odds? Yes, I will. Both teams do come. Batman even comes to admit to Waller that the Suicide Squad is a good idea, which I never would have thought. You actually see the Suicide Squad basically talking with the Justice League at the end, and basically Batman throwing down the gauntlet to Waller, saying Caitlin Snow, aka Killer Frost, is coming with us. Which leads into, I could say, basically say one of the Justice League of America, Killer Frost Rebirth one shot. It's all about Killer Frost, and we get to see Killer Frost. You know, she's trying to get transfer. Amanda Waller's being a bitch and keeping her from going, and you know she's just like, your name's Killer Frost. You're gonna need to feed on people, because in this, they're saying that Killer Frost absorbs the warmth of people to keep herself warm, and Waller just is throwing everything at her, just wanting her to just fuck up. And the ending, I'm not even gonna spoil that, but it was good. Teen Titans number 4. Basically, it's a fight between cousins. Damian has came forth to his grandfather saying, look, take the bounty off of my friends, take it off the Titans, and I'll join you back. But, you know, Ra's ain't stupid. So basically we see a fight between the two cousins. These two right here. Does Damian win? Yeah, but he doesn't kill his cousin. And she takes advantage of that. But then it turns out to see, are the Titans truly a team or not? That's pretty much the gist. And last but not least, Wonder Woman number 15. Oh my god. God damn it. Come on. God damn it. This is just really fucked. It is so hard to see Diana like this. It really is. But that's about it. Yo, I'll get to the rest later. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. More to come, as always, like I said. I'll see you guys around.